of Bangladesh, vowing to build a new Bangladesh free of discrimination in context of July-August mass uprising. President, Chief Advisor and East Timor's President pay homage to the martyrs of Liberation War at National Memorial in Sabah. People from all walks of life, including various political and socio-cultural organizations, paid tribute in memory of the martyrs of 1971. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus addresses the nation, saying next general election can be held in between the end of 2025 and the first half of 2026.
2025 সালের শেষ দিক থেকে 2026 সালের প্রথমার্ধের মধ্যে নির্বাচনের সময় নির্ধারণ করা যায়।
Independence is fulfilled with the victory of 2024 as people experience the taste of real victory in the country free of fascist Awami League, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor. Israeli attacks kill 69 more Palestinians in Gaza as the country plans expansion of settlements in the occupied Golan Heights. And Bangladesh beat West Indies by 7 runs in the first T20 of 3-match series in Kingston. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10 on BTV. This is Roya Zabin. You have just heard the headlines, now news in details. Today is the Great Victory Day, the most glorious day in the history of Bangladesh. Bangladesh emerged as an independent nation on this day with the defeat of the Pakistani occupying forces in the Great Liberation War of 1971. This year, the Great Victory Day is being celebrated in a different spirit in the context of the July-August student uprising. The day began with the 31 gun salutes in Dhaka in the morning. President Mohammad Shahabuddin paid rich tributes to the martyrs of the War of Liberation on the occasion of the Great Victory Day. The President paid tributes by placing wreath at the National Memorial in Sabah this morning. After placing wreaths, the President stood in solemn silence for some time as a mark of respect to the memories of the martyrs of the Great War of Liberation in 1971. A smartly turned out contingent drawn from 3 services presented a state salute when bugles played the last post. Chief Justice, advisors, Cabinet Secretary, chiefs of the 3 services, freedom fighters, diplomats and high civil and military officials were present. Later, President Mohammad Shahabuddin signed the visitors' book kept at the National Memorial. After the President, Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus and President of Timor-Leste Jose Ramos Horta paid rich tributes to the martyrs of the 1971 Liberation War by placing wreaths at the National Memorial. After placing wreath, they stood in solemn silence for some time as a mark of profound respect to the memories of the martyrs. A smartly turned out contingent drawn from Bangladesh Army, Navy and Air Force presented a state salute when the bugles played the last post. People from all walks of life thronged the National Memorial today to pay tributes to the valiant martyrs of the Great Liberation War. As the President and Chief Advisor left the memorial area, the Chief Justice, Chief Election Commissioner, members of the Advisory Council, foreign diplomats, as well as leaders and activists of different political, social and cultural organizations paid homage. Speaking on the occasion, Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mohammad Nahid Islam said the victory in 2024 has fulfilled the independence of the country. People are enjoying the real taste of victory as the country has been freed from the Awami fascism, he added. Later, leaders and activists of BNP, Gano Odhikar Porishod, Bangladesh Labour Party, Anti-Discrimination Student Movement and other organizations paid homage at the National Memorial in Savar. Students of different educational institutions, including Dhaka University and Jahangirnagar University, also gathered there, marking the Great Victory Day of Bangladesh. At one stage, the memorial area turned into a human sea. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus has said the next general election can be arranged at a time between the end of 2025 and the first half of 2026. He made the announcement while addressing the nation this morning, marking the Victory Day today. In his address, Professor Yunus said he repeatedly appealed to all for arranging the election after completing all the major reforms. The chief advisor said the government will form a national consensus building commission soon with the chiefs of 6 reform commissions.
আমরা এই 6 কমিশনের চেয়ারম্যানদের নিয়ে একটি জাতীয় ঐকমত্য গঠন কমিশন প্রতিষ্ঠা করার দিকে অগ্রসর হচ্ছি। এর কাজ হবে রাজনৈতিক দল সহ সকল পক্ষের সঙ্গে মতামত বিনিময় করে যে সমস্ত বিষয়ে ঐকমত্য স্থাপন হবে সেগুলো চিহ্নিত করা এবং বাস্তবায়নের জন্য সুপারিশ করা। যদি অল্প কিছু সংস্কার করে ভোটার তালিকা নির্ভুলভাবে তৈরি করার ভিত্তিতে নির্বাচন সম্পন্ন করতে হয় তাহলে 2025 সালের শেষের দিকে নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠান হয়তো সম্ভব হবে। আর যদি এর সঙ্গে নির্বাচন প্রক্রিয়া এবং নির্বাচন সংস্কার কমিশনের সুপারিশের পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে এবং জাতীয় ঐকমত্যের ভিত্তিতে প্রত্যাশিত মাত্রার সংস্কার যোগ করি তাহলে অন্তত আরও 6 মাস অতিরিক্ত সময় লাগতে পারে। মোটা দাগে বলা যায় 2025 সালের শেষ দিক থেকে 2026 সালের প্রথমার্ধের মধ্যে নির্বাচনের সময় নির্ধারণ করা যায়।
Professor Yunus said the European Union expressed their full support to the government. About the trial of July-August massacre, the chief advisor said the trial of the fallen dictator and her allies involved in the massacre is progressing. The chief advisor sought everyone's cooperation to keep commodity prices affordable in the upcoming holy month of Ramadan.
আমরা সবার সহযোগিতা চাই। আমরা ইতিমধ্যে ব্যবসায়ীদের সঙ্গে কথা বলেছি। তারা আমাদের কাছে ওয়াদা করেছে বাজারে পণ্য সরবরাহে কোনো সংকট হবে না। অতিরিক্ত মুনাফার লোভে যদি কেউ কৃত্রিম কোনো সংকট সৃষ্টির চেষ্টা করে আমরা তাকে কঠোর হাতে দমন করব। এই নতুন কমিশনের প্রথম কাজ হবে নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠানের জন্য যে সমস্ত সিদ্ধান্ত জরুরি সেই সমস্ত বিষয়ে তাড়াতাড়ি ঐকমত্য সৃষ্টি করা এবং সকলের সঙ্গে আলোচনা করে কোন সময়ে নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠান করা যায় সেই ব্যাপারে পরামর্শ চূড়ান্ত করা। ইউরোপীয় ইউনিয়ন বাংলাদেশকে সর্বোচ্চ সমর্থন ও সহযোগিতা দেওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত। অন্তর্বর্তীকালীন সরকারের সংস্কার উদ্যোগ এবং গণতান্ত্রিক পদ্ধতিতে নির্বাচনের প্রক্রিয়ার কথা আমি তাদেরকে জানিয়েছি। সেটিতে তারা পূর্ণ সমর্থন জানিয়েছেন এবং সরকারকে সর্বোচ্চ সহযোগিতা করবেন বলে জানিয়েছেন। বাংলাদেশের বিরুদ্ধে অপপ্রচার এবং ভুল তথ্য প্রচারের বিষয়েও আমি ইউরোপীয় ইউনিয়নের কূটনীতিকদের জানিয়েছি। পরাজিত শক্তি তাদের পরাজয় কিছুতেই মেনে নিতে পারছে না। তারা প্রতিদিন দেশের ভেতরে এবং বাইরে থেকে জনতার অভ্যুত্থানকে ব্যর্থ করার জন্য বিপুল অর্থ ব্যয়ে নানা ভঙ্গিতে তাদের চেষ্টা চালিয়ে যাচ্ছে। পাচার করা হাজার হাজার কোটি টাকা তাদের আয়ত্তে রয়েছে। তাদের সুবিধাভোগীরা সর্বত্র ছড়িয়ে আছে। আমাদের ঐক্য অটুট থাকলে তারা আমাদেরকে আমাদের লক্ষ্য অর্জন থেকে ব্যর্থ করতে পারবে না। সজাগ থাকুন, নিজের লক্ষ্যকে জাতির লক্ষ্যের সঙ্গে একীভূত করুন। পৃথিবীর কোনো শক্তিই আমাদেরকে আমাদের লক্ষ্য অর্জন থেকে বিচ্যুত করতে পারবে না। আমি দেশের গণমাধ্যম কর্মী ও জনগণের প্রতি আহ্বান জানাই, বিশ্বের কাছে দেশের প্রকৃত চিত্র তুলে ধরুন। অপপ্রচারের বিরুদ্ধে সত্যই হোক আমাদের হাতিয়ার।
East Timor President Jose Ramos Horta said that his country is interested in working with Bangladesh to explore the development potentials of the two countries. He said this during a meeting with President Mohammad Shahabuddin at Bongo Bhavan this afternoon. On arrival at Bongo Bhavan, the East Timor President was received by the President. Later, President's Press Secretary Mohammad Join al-Abidin briefed the reporters. Welcoming East Timor President Jose Ramos Horta, the President hoped that bilateral relations between Bangladesh and East Timor would be strengthened through his visit. President Mohammad Shahabuddin welcomed the initiative of opening the honorary consulate in Bangladesh and said that it would open up new horizons in diplomatic relations between Bangladesh and East Timor. The President stressed on providing proper opportunity to Bangladesh's skilled manpower in accelerating the development of East Timor. During the meeting, President of East Timor, Jose Ramos Horta, said that his country attaches importance to its relations with Bangladesh. Foreign Affairs Advisor Tauhid Hussain, Environment Advisor Sayyeda Rizwana Hassan, and secretaries to the President were present. Later, East Timor President Jose Ramos Horta signed the visitor's book. President Mohammad Shahabuddin and his wife Dr. Rebecca Sultana hosted a reception at Bongo Bhavan this afternoon, marking the Great Victory Day. Visiting East Timor President Jose Ramos Horta joined the reception. The President, along with the East Timor President, cut a cake on the occasion. Later, President Mohammad Shahabuddin and East Timor President Jose Ramos Horta exchanged greetings with the invited guests at the function. Chief Justice, advisors, Supreme Court judges, chiefs of different commissions, chiefs of 3 services, ambassadors and high commissioners of different countries, senior political leaders, senior civil and military officials, business community leaders, religious leaders, artists and distinguished citizens attended the function. Child artists presented patriotic songs at the reception. Armed forces and Ansar and BDP bands also played instrumental music. Earlier, family members of recipients of Bir Shreshto Gallantry Awards were given a reception at Bongo Bhavan on the occasion of Great Victory Day. President Mohammad Shahabuddin exchanged greetings with them and inquired about their well-being. Senior Secretary of the President's Office Nasimul Goni and Secretary of Liberation War Affairs Ministry Israt Chaudhry handed over gifts to family members of recipients of Bir Shreshto Gallantry Awards. Liberation War Affairs Advisor Farooq Azam, President's Military Secretary Major General Mohammad Adil Chaudhry and Press Secretary Mohammad Join al-Abidin were present. BNP has welcomed the Chief Advisor's comment that election can be held between end of 2025 and first half of 2026. Paying tributes at the grave of BNP's founder and former President Ziaur Rahman, BNP's Standing Committee member Mirza Abbas hoped that the government will restore the voting rights of people as early as possible. BNP Joint Secretary General Shohiduddin Chaudhry Anni among these central leaders were present. Earlier, marking the Great Victory Day, leaders and activists of different associate organizations of the BNP paid tributes at the grave of martyred President Ziaur Rahman. Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman has said a group and a family snatched the liberty gained by the bloodshed of millions of martyrs. They turned this independent country into a vassal state of India. He made the remarks while addressing a rally in the capital's Purana Palton organized by Dhaka South City Jamaat marking Great Victory Day today. Dhaka South City Unit Jamaat Amir Muhammad Nurul Islam chaired the rally, which was also addressed by Jamaat Central Executive Member H.M. Abdul Halim and others. The Jamaat Amir said Bangladesh became independent in 1971, but it had to wait until 2024 to be freed from exploitation. 18 crore people of the country should be vigilant so that none can hijack freedom of 24, he added. Dr. Shafiqur Rahman said that the government should take initiative so that no citizen, including expatriate Bangladeshis, is dropped from the voter list. The government should conduct the upcoming elections with maximum neutrality and transparency. Later, a victory rally was brought out from the Purana Palton, which paraded various roads in the capital. Anti-discrimination student movement organized a colorful rally in the capital today, marking the Great Victory Day, aimed at building a discrimination-free Bangladesh. The rally was held at the central Shohid Minar with the slogan, "Pledge of 24 from 71, the country will belong to people." Coming from different areas in the capital, children, juvenile, as well as young men and women thronged the Shohid Minar. Those who came to the central Shohid Minar said that building discrimination-free Bangladesh is their prime objective through upholding the spirit of victory. Later, parading TSC and Shahbag, the colorful rally terminated at the central Shohid Minar. Addressing the rally, the leaders of the anti-discrimination student movement informed that despite fascist Hasina's fall, the conspiracy has not yet stopped. Bangladesh would move forward defying the anti-state conspiracy, they hoped. A concert on the Victory Day was held with a different angle, with a different approach and with different commitments in the capital today. The concert, organized by Shabar Age Bangladesh, was filled with enthusiastic men and women carrying flags of a red circle on top of a dark green banner on their hands, heads and chests. Audiences enjoyed the performances of famous artists as well as popular bands of the country. People of all ages participated in the open concert marking the Victory Day, although the presence of youth was the highest throughout the concert. Talking to BTV, the participants said the Victory Day was celebrated in an open environment this year after 15 years since the fall of fascist government. This added a different dimension to this year's celebration, they added. Now, international news. Israeli forces killed at least 69 people in the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours, including 4 attacks targeting schools where displaced Palestinians were sheltering, medics say. The victims included al-Jazeera cameraman Ahmed al-Lu, 2 other Palestinian journalists and 5 members of the Palestinian Civil Defense. Israeli bombing on an UN-run school in Gaza killed at least 20 Palestinians. Besides, an attack on Ahmed bin Abdul Aziz school in Khan Yunis came without warning, and that the victims included children. Meanwhile, the death toll from Israel's earlier attack on Khalil Obeida school in Beit Hanun has risen to 43. Israel's attack on Gaza has killed at least 44,976 Palestinians and wounded 106,759 since October 7, 2023. Israel's government has approved a plan to encourage the expansion of settlements in the occupied Golan Heights. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the move was necessary because a new front has opened up on Israel's border with Syria after the fall of the Assad regime to an Islamist-led rebel alliance. Netanyahu said he wanted to double the population of the Golan Heights, which Israel seized during the 1967 Six-Day War and is considered illegally occupied under international law. Israeli forces moved into the buffer zone separating the Golan Heights from Syria in the days following Assad's departure, saying the change of control in Damascus meant ceasefire arrangements had collapsed. Meanwhile, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and UAE condemned Israel's Golan Heights plans. There are more than 30 Israeli settlements in the Golan Heights, which are home to an estimated 20,000 people. They are considered illegal under international law, which Israel disputes. The settlers live alongside some 20,000 Syrians, most of them Druze Arabs, who did not flee when the area came under Israeli control. South Korea's Constitutional Court has begun trial proceedings for the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was suspended for declaring martial law and plunging his country into political turmoil. MPs voted to impeach Yoon last Saturday after his actions sparked widespread protests calling for him to step down. The court now has 6 months to decide whether to remove Yoon or reinstate him. Yoon's ruling People Power Party (PPP) has been grappling with the fallout ever since, with its leader announcing his resignation on Monday. While public hearings for Yoon's impeachment trial could take months, the court is under pressure to decide quickly and bring an end to political uncertainty. Protesters have vowed to keep up their cause for Yoon's removal during court proceedings. Hundreds of people are feared dead in Mayotte after the French Indian Ocean territory was devastated by a powerful cyclone. Entire settlements were flattened when Cyclone Chido brought wind speeds of more than 225 km per hour, with the poorest living in makeshift shelters particularly hard hit. Rescue workers, including reinforcements from France, are combing through the debris searching for survivors. Widespread damage to infrastructure, including downed power lines and impassable roads, is severely hindering emergency operations. Some of Mayotte's population of 320,000 have said they are struggling with severe shortages of food, water and shelter. Back to national news. Officers Club Dhaka arranged a discussion meeting and cultural function marking the Great Victory Day today. Speakers at the program said that the nation got back the genuine spirit of victory through the 2024 mass uprising. Time has come now to evaluate the history of the Liberation War against the backdrop of 5th August, said the speakers, adding that everyone must remain alert to make the victory everlasting. Chairman of the Club Committee on Liberation War Affairs, freedom fighter Dr. A.F.M. Motiur Rahman presided over the program. Cabinet Secretary Dr. Sheikh Abdul Rashid, Principal Secretary freedom fighter M. Shirajuddin Mia and General Secretary of the club Abdul Sattar also spoke at the function. The program was followed by a cultural function. Now some weather updates. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Beside light to moderate fog may occur at places over the country during midnight till morning. Night and day temperature may rise slightly over the country, the Met Office said. Now news on sports. Bangladesh opened its three-match T20 series against West Indies with a tight 7-run win in Kingston today. It was a much-needed victory for Bangladesh as they finally returned to winning spree after getting whitewashed by 3-0 in the ODI series against the hosts. Bangladesh batted first and scored 147 runs for 6 in their stipulated 20 overs. Shomu Sarkar scored 43 runs while Zakir Ali Onik and Shamim Hussain scored 27 runs each for the Tigers. Mehdi Hassan was unbeaten on 26 runs. In reply, West Indies were all out in 140 runs in 19 overs 5 balls. Bangladesh seamer Hassan Mahmood produced a stunning last over and dismissed Rowan Powell, who scored 60 of 35 balls. Mehdi Hassan was adjudged man of the match for taking 4 wickets for 13 runs. Bangladesh women team beat Sri Lanka by 28 runs in the Under-19 Women's T20 Asia Cup in Malaysia today. Bangladesh Under-19 women team batted first and scored 122 runs for 9 wickets in their stipulated 17 overs. The match was reduced to 17 overs due to rain. In reply, Sri Lanka women team managed to score 94 for 8 in the stipulated 17 overs. Nishita Akhtar Nishi was adjudged player of the match while taking 2 wickets for 16 runs. Bangladesh will take on host Malaysia in their second and last match of group stage tomorrow. Before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Nation celebrating the Victory Day today, the most glorious day in the history of Bangladesh, vowing to build a new Bangladesh free of discrimination in context of July-August mass uprising. President, Chief Advisor and East Timor's President pay homage to the martyrs of liberation war at National Memorial in Sabah. People from all walks of life, including various political and socio-cultural organizations, pay tribute in memory of the martyrs of 1971. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus addresses the nation, saying next general election can be held in between the end of 2025 and the first half of 2026. Independence is fulfilled with the victory of 2024 as people experience the taste of real victory in a country free of fascist Awami League government, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor. Israeli attacks kill 69 more Palestinians in Gaza as the country plans expansion of settlements in the occupied Golan Heights. And Bangladesh beat West Indies by 7 runs in the first T20 of 3-match series in Kingston. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Allah Hafiz.